being on desk, because desk just doesn't carry the same challenge that I enjoy so much as a caster. Did I start casting from Scotland or somewhere else? I started casting from Scotland, actually. So I first began casting in 2019, which was when I was still at university. So I would not recommend this to anyone. It was a very bad and unstable sleep schedule. I would basically be getting up for lectures and seminars at 9 a.m., wrapping university at maybe 5 in the evening, going back to my studio apartment. And at the time when you like casted, you didn't just immediately get to go into paid casting. You had to work your way up from the very, very base level. So I ended up like earning my keep, not even earning my keep, I didn't get paid. I would just ask teams if I could go into scrims and then practice casting in those, record some of them until I had compiled like a little bit of a reel, sent that off to a broadcasting company to see whether or not they liked me and wanted to pick me up, and then I got adopted into that like broadcast house and got to sign up whenever they did any broadcasts or tournaments which went out onto Twitch. But that meant that I would be casting scrims from something like 6 p.m. until 11 p.m, and then I would get maybe 1 hour break, and then I would go and do it on the NA circuit as well. And I would be doing that from like 1 a.m. until 4 a.m., getting 2 hours sleep, getting up and getting ready to go to university. So I climbed. I climbed from absolutely nothing. I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing at the time. I'd also never really played video games because growing up in Scotland, I said it very Scottish there for a moment. Wow, Scotland. Growing up in Scotland, the countryside, the internet connection, it's so unstable. I would maybe have internet connection for all of 15 minutes per day. So I didn't play video games. The only video games that I really played were on the Nintendo Wii, and they were single player and offline. So my first ever experience of like a team-based tactical shooter was when I moved to university, which meant that I literally started learning this stuff in 2019. I started learning it before I started playing it too. How do I have energy when I cast? I don't know. It's really funny because growing up I was very shy and reserved. Like I preferred reading to talking to people, and sometimes entire days would pass without me really saying any sentence to anyone outside of my family, which is absolutely wild. Now that it is literally my job to talk to people. Do I still live in Scotland? No. I moved about 3.5 years ago to England to be more central, because at the time I was having to, if I had lands down in like London, or I was needed in Birmingham or Sheffield for something like Insomnia, then I would literally have to spend like 12 hours on a train. So now I live much more in the central belt of the UK, and I live in Newcastle, which is really, really good because the city has an airport and it has a public transport network where we have a metro, but it's also much, much closer to London, because if I have to fly somewhere like China, then I prefer flying directly from Heathrow, because it means I only have to catch one plane. I don't have to worry about potentially being delayed between the connection of Newcastle to London and then missing my Chinese stream. Plane rather. Moxi Q&A stream, yeah. When I upload this to YouTube, there's just gonna be a really weird bit where I'm like full match analysis and Q&A. Oh. Okay, any more budding questions that you'll want to know? I could edit this out to be a short. It would be a heck of a long short. Oh wait, you mean the Q&A section? True! I could. When are we getting food? Soon. Soon, Phil. I hope soon. It's really inconvenient to try and get over to where you are if I'm taking the main London network. What rank am I? When I tried to play rank seriously, I got to GM1, and then the stack that I was playing with split, which means that I never got the opportunity to play again. Not properly, at least, because playing ranked when you're like an analyst, a caster, and a coach, oh my goodness, the experience. I'm like, this is not optimal. Why is this happening? Why are we doing this? Why aren't we moving forward when I use my strategist ultimates? What's going on? Because I used to, it's a funny story actually, I used to stack with the Citadel coach, but we were so incredibly busy that we would literally get all of 2 games a day that we were able to properly play in terms of ranked, because I would be watching scrims, taking notes, watching VODs, taking notes. Or having to set up other things, because I don't just cast Marvel Rivals, I cast other games as well, which meant that I couldn't fall behind in those. So we would like message each other and just be like, hey, you want to grab some ranked games? And we would get like 2 games in, and then one of us would have to be like, okay, we've either got team scrims or we've got to go do prep notes.